This is Taboo, the show where we laugh with people about things you probably think we shouldn't be laughing about. I've invited these 5 wonderful people with a terminal illness to join me for a week away. I've invited 4 wonderful people with a terminal illness to join me for a week away. And together, we'll find out if there's anything funny about dying. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a comedy show about death. This episode of Taboo is about the terminally ill. They are dying, like, soon, or something. I can't really remember. They told me, but wasn't listening. Can tell you this, though. First time in my career as a comedian, I haven't been backstage thinking to myself, man, I hope I kill tonight.
Look how adventurous they are.
Hello, bud. You guys thought you were terminal before this.
My life expectancy's just now decreased dramatically.
I mean, it kind of would be hilarious if we all died. Like, imagine the headlines.
Comedian kills 4
terminally ill.
Well, Matt, I've got you here specifically because of your tash.
Yeah, I'm proud to be here because of it.
Well, it's that and you have a terminal illness.
Oh, and that. Secondary.
Yeah, secondary.
muscular.
And what's your particular variety?
So mine's a stage 2 oligodendroglioma, which is a brain cancer.
Okay. And so people would refer to that as a tumour?
Yeah, it's a brain tumour.
Because what were you in the army before you were diagnosed?
Yeah, so I'm an infantryman, which is just a frontline rifleman soldier.
Straight up soldier?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, and that's what you want to...
Yeah, well, that's what I want to go
You would
back
like to go back to?
Yeah. The only reason I'm taken out at the moment is because I'm under chemotherapy. I was having, like, recurring headaches that I couldn't really shake. The first neurosurgeon I saw, he was like, no, you shouldn't have headaches. And then he's just like, oh, look, just because it's really easy to send a fence purse for a CAT scan, we'll send you to one. And then, yeah, from there it sort of snowballed on. Yeah, and I went in there and I'm like, oh, I'm seeing Dr. whoever, and it's like, yep, cancer clinic. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had, why am I at a cancer clinic? Like, that's a bit fucking funny. And I'm like, Google, like, what is an oncologist? I'm like, oh, if a neurosurgeon sent me here, turns out I must have cancer.
So you had to find out that you had cancer by finding out what the guy
Did. Yeah.
And then you're just waiting for him to say the words.
Yeah. It's almost like when someone breaks up with you and you have that, like, sort of drop feeling in your stomach. You're like, oh, that's not what I wanted to hear. Like, well, I'm stuffed. Like, I'm going to die next week. I don't want to sound bad, but I was expecting some other really sick people, like really sick.
It's funny though, because you kind of have this perception of what a terminally ill person is.
Even I've got that, and
I'm that person, and I get angry at people constantly saying, like, you don't look very sick. And then I look at all you guys and go, well, you guys all look really well. We're all looking very healthy.
You have been diagnosed with a terminal illness. What version did you get?
I got the bowel cancer version. So not just the stick it in your bowel and get it out kind of version, but the spread throughout your body, also hanging out now in your liver and lungs version of bowel cancer. I was a new mum. I had an 8-month-old baby and I just felt a little bit tired. A lot tired.
New mum kind of emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also felt like I was losing a little bit of weight, I guess, but everyone was telling me I looked great. I just felt super, super fatigued. So decided to go see a GP. The next week walked into an oncologist's rooms who said, yep, you've got a stage 4 cancer and that means it's terminal, and someone with this burden of disease or this extent of cancer has somewhere between 18 months and 2 years to live.
From when you first found out and then you return home to your 8-month-old, how was that?
Returning home and trying to walk back into your house where, you know, just a couple of weeks ago you were building a life and planning a future and building a family, and to now be told that none of that is going to be yours is just horrendous. There are just no words for that.
Oh, here we are.
Woohoo!
Time for some wine tasting.
When people say, oh, you don't know what the future holds, you know, if I'm having a pessimistic day, you know, I could walk out and get hit by a bus. I'm like, yes, but I have a bus stalking me. Yeah. I'm highly aware of this bus and I know it's going to jump out any minute. Yeah. Right.
You're being followed by a creepy bus.
Yes,
Creepy bus.
exactly.
Yeah.
So generally I say I've got cystic fibrosis, osteoporosis, diabetes, and I dabble in depression and anxiety. So, but if people say what's cystic fibrosis, I generally just give them the 20-second version, which is it's a genetic illness that affects the lungs and digestive system. It's when there is a buildup of mucus in your mucus-producing organs, which creates infection and deterioration. So, and then they kind of go, so what's cystic fibrosis?
You were incredibly close to death and have been multiple times in your life, but that moment when it was get a transplant in 2 weeks, or it's possibly that's it.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
I couldn't leave a hospital bed. Even sitting up by myself was impossible. Physically, it was horrible. You feel like you're suffocating and drowning at the same time. The nurses said to my mum, oh, someone's on the phone for you. And, you know, it's something you've been just waiting for, that one phone call. Is this going to happen? Is this going to come? And I just remember laying in my hospital bed thinking, no, don't get your hopes up, it's fine. But I've got this feeling this might be it. And yeah, my mum came back and she just whispered, that was St. Vincent's and they've got lungs for you. And yeah, had to process that someone had passed and they decided to donate their organs. And there's so many people on the list, but I got the call. And the people who were waiting, I might have taken someone else's chance of living. Yeah, it's stuff you've got to get your head around, that's for sure.
How do you guys think about the future, like forward projecting things you might want to do?
I don't project too far forward. Like I wouldn't be
Yeah.
like, yeah, in 10 years I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep it within 12 months.
12 months?
So I have lung cancer, non-smoking version, advanced stage 4. Being stage 4 and advanced means it's gone to my blood and bone. For me, that's what defines for me as being terminal, because if I'll forever now have it in my system floating around to attack a cell, and they just wait for it to pop up.
So when you first hear that word, cancer, what goes through your mind?
Oh, I was gobsmacked. Particularly here that I had a lung cancer, and my knowledge about lung cancer was probably a majority of people that hear it go, that's smoking related, you know? So I was in that group of people. The hardest was telling my daughters, and when I told them and how I told them. That probably took a bit more thinking about.
How old were they?
So they're 11 and 13, so I was, what's that, that's, yeah, 9 and 11.
I'm interested in your take on how you speak to your kids about cancer and everything.
I haven't really had deep conversations with them about it.
Yeah.
What they do know is I do have lung cancer and we're managing it.
Yeah.
What happens from there, we just try to manage it. So I find it very difficult. Yeah, because I don't want to break their hearts.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's be really clear here. There's no guarantee that these four are going first, right? There's no guarantee that any one of you are even getting home tonight. You don't know. Like, that's the thing about life. We don't know. We don't know when our end is. One of you could walk out of here tonight and get hit by a bus. That could happen. All of you could go out of here tonight and get hit by a bus. Highly unlikely, that. And that's not a threat, by the way. I don't have a bus outside just waiting for you to come out with audience in the destination screen. Or you could all get on the same bus, yeah? Then that bus rolls, all of you die. Could happen, and then these four fuckers Stephen Bradbury the lot of us.
I had too much to think about.
My drugs make me an insomniac, so...
Just steroids?
Yeah, the steroids and one of these drugs I'm on tell my body that night is day and day is night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Some of my drugs really fucked up my stomach because I do oral chemo, and then my whole stomach just had like no lining and just like ulcers, and that's why I ended up on morphine to deal with the pain of that.
Yeah.
But then the steroids make me super hungry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dexamethasone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you have mates that try and get drugs off you?
Every day.
No.
But we've joked about selling my drugs in the park behind my house. Because I get ketamine to take home from hospital every time I'm in hospital. So that's a lot of ketamine I'm stacking up.
Horse tranquilizer.
Yeah. I back onto a park. So my brothers have been like, that fentanyl, we could, I mean, cancer treatment's expensive. So we could maybe just,
Some added income.
Yeah, that's right. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Because you had quite a concoction before.
Yeah. I take about 60 a day.
60 pills.
Also, you may not know this, you all think they're wonderful people. Massive druggies, all of them, massive. Oh, Lauren, drugs, holy crap. Lauren did some maths and figured out in her lifetime she's had 450,000 pills. Sounds like me in my 20s.
I said I wanted to be a mum, and for the time that I'm here, I'm going to be a mum. And I said I wanted to be a wife, and for the time that I'm here, I'm going to be a wife. At night time, my son would be asleep in his crib, and I would just walk in and just walk into his room and just stand there and just watch him and just watch him sleep. Just thinking like how many nights am I going to be able to do this? This like aching need to maximize all of these moments and to appreciate and create all these mental memories and pictures of all of these moments that are about to be taken away from you and you never quite know.
I tried a committed relationship during everything that's gone down. It's not that it wasn't working, but I just was overwhelmed with a feeling of guilt the whole time of I'm going to leave this person that I love so much behind. Even if they're okay with it, I wasn't. And it got to the point where it was affecting me really badly. The more serious it got, it became more and more real of this is going somewhere, but I might not be able to go there with them. And then it sort of broke down and I had to sadly end it.
Oh, you... That's just ridiculous.
Jeez, what's going on, mate?
Is anyone fine if I wash these off and we...
I don't mind.
I don't mind. Well, when I got diagnosed, I sort of take a bit of a light-hearted approach on it. So my third photo in on my Tinder was a brain scan, and my bio read, I've got brain cancer, so I'm literally dying to meet you, not here for anything long-term. And I'll get all these people, like, all these girls, like, abusing me. Like, you can't joke about that, you're an arsehole. I'm like, nah, it's legit. And then it just turned fully sympathetic. Like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry.
Did you have sympathy sex?
Not really, but it's, but I can tell you if you get cancer, it does work.
It's
But then, say...
Cancer gets the girls.
Yeah, pretty much.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
Cancer gets your roots.
Aren't you guys hungry? Eat up.
Do you guys not eat red meat?
I don't eat red meat, no.
Gives you cancer, apparently.
Yeah.
Everyone was so worried about me and how tragic it was for me and how sad it was for me. And all I could think about was Tim and how tragically sad it was for him that he had just been told he was losing his wife, that we just signed up to have a baby, and now he was going to be a single dad. And all I could think about was how much I was letting him down and how much this is not what I wanted for him. And it was just so devastating. So devastating. And we went away for a family holiday to Queensland, and he gets a phone call and is told that he has prostate cancer.
Poor.
And yet, because it's not immediately life-threatening, it's just kind of been put on the back burner. Well, yeah, I mean, you have cancer, but I mean, I have the worst cancer, so...
Oh, you don't really want to be in that competition in a couple, do you?
Not really.
My cancer's worse than your cancer.
Exactly.
You know, like I first got diagnosed and we were like, well, let's just get drunk. Let's just have fun.
It's a good excuse to drink too.
It is, it really is. And buy like really good quality champagne. Like I always do, like I'm like, guys, if we're not drinking Bollinger, these could be my last moments on earth.
I ate healthy for a long time.
Yeah.
I rarely drunk.
Yeah.
When I found this out, you know what? I'm going to enjoy my life a little bit. So what?
Yeah.
You got to live your life a little, not survive it, but live it a little. My daughters, they've already lost their mother.
This is your first relationship, first wife?
Yeah.
What of, by the way?
So she passed away of myocarditis. So she had a virus in the heart. So in that 4 hours that she passed away, because it was very aggressive and quick, they didn't know which virus they were looking for.
So she went from fine
To talking to me like this?
in 4 hours?
Absolutely.
And so then you're a single dad with a baby and a 3-year-old. It's a huge load to have to carry and try and communicate to your girls.
My youngest tests me every day. I feel like I'm being dragged through a hedge backwards most days. I think that raising 2 teenage girls is harder than going through this some days, you know. But I love it. I love that challenge. That's what keeps me going.
I do like the low level of commitment my 4 new friends come with, though, I can tell you that. It's not like I'm going to have to go to their 50th, is it? I know that these are hard subjects. I know that these are hard subjects to talk about. I know they're hard subjects to write jokes about, but fuck, I found a way. And I'm not worried about my 4 new friends. I'm not worried about how they receive it. I feel like I have their consent to joke about their situations in their life, and I became friends with them. I genuinely did. They're wonderful people. Great. Now I have 4 funerals to go to. Be good if you could all die in the same week. And I'm only going to get 1 suit. Nicole, I got to know the least on our holiday because just 2 days into the holiday, she had to pop off and have some surgery. I'm like, all right, mate, we're filming a show. Go and get a bit of fucking long out.
So I imagine it's possibly something you've kept count of. How many surgeries have there been?
I had a bowel resection, which is just 25 centimetres of bowel coming out, and a liver chop as well at that point. So that was surgery number 1. And then I've had 3 lung surgeries. I'm about to have my 4th.
What's the significance of this one? Why have you chosen then to go under the knife again?
So this particular lung lesion was meant to be taken out in November last year when I had a surgery that was unsuccessful. So we went in, we chopped into me, I went through the whole thing, only to find out weeks down the track that it was in exactly the same place as it had always been on the scan, and in fact, actually, the surgeon had missed it.
And chopped a healthy bit of lung out?
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm so sad. Oh, you'll be great.
Lovely to meet you.
I'm just Nicole. I'm just the same person. I just happen to have a terminal cancer. Yeah, of course, everything has changed, but really it's just made me realise that really nothing changes, and we just encounter this stuff and we either have to roll with it and keep going, or we just sit on the couch and wait to die. And I don't want to do that. I choose not to do that.
Enjoy the pre-drugs.
Yeah!
All right.
See you, Nicole.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. See you soon. Well, there goes another one.
There's a slight morbidity to the way you said it.
Nicole has butthole cancer, the funniest of all the cancers, because it's in your butthole. Look, I know it's bowel cancer, but I think butthole cancer has a real ring to it. So...
Usually I use the sit card so I don't have to pick up the ball when it goes off the table. Come on!
That's the problem being around other sick people, is you can't draw the card.
I'm at that age where people want to settle down, and I don't know where I'm going to be in like a year. So I feel like I'm very upfront with people when I date them. They know enough to know what they're getting themselves into. I actually have a boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. Sad that people don't get that vibe from me, but yeah, I do. Yeah, he's lovely. I gave up on dating and he came along, and still very new, but things are going well.
On a practical level,
Yeah.
how does CF affect the physical side of your relationships?
Well, I'm a lady. Why are you laughing, Harley?
You shouldn't laugh.
No, sex with CF, I guess lots of resting for me is the main part, and really not going full on, really hard. Yeah, but still, I have not heard any complaints.
Lauren was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at birth. She's had it for 28 years. I thought maybe sex is something you don't get around to. She has done, and then some. Loves it. Right, Mark? And good on her. You're a young, beautiful woman. You should be getting out there and getting amongst it. The thing is that having sex when you have cystic fibrosis looks very different to people who have sex who are able-bodied, right? You have to put a little bit more consideration into it. Because as she said to me, you can get really tired, you can get really exhausted, you can only go for a minute. It turns out having cystic fibrosis is like having sex as a middle-aged man.
What a life.
Too used to living like
This is how I live every day.
Well, you know, this is what we do. This is natural for us. It's been 48 hours.
You guys should definitely root.
Oh my gosh, I have a story. I had a guy message me on Tinder. He also had a transplant, and he said, if we have sex, it'll be like 4 people are in the room. And I was like, ooh.
That is great.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I think you're kind of on the line there, buddy.
So there was Bronwyn, who's the mother of my 2 daughters. You know, she left this world with me, madly in love with her, thinking I was going to live the rest of my life with her, to be taken away from me. A few years later, I met Jennifer. I was just focused on my girls, and she came in like a sunshine and she swept me off my feet. And we'd only been together married for 3 years when I was diagnosed. For me, it was a question of, you know, the rest of her life. what am I taking from her? If I was going to die in a year's time, is it fair to burden her with me becoming in a state where I need palliative care and, giving up her youth? She's a beautiful young woman, a lot to offer the world, and I just didn't want to make sure I took that from her. I said to her, the door is open. If you feel that you need to move on, I would never hold that against you. I'd support you in that. I cannot take your life down with mine. I just can't do it.
I think we all find different ways to deal with our own mortality. And Michael confided in me something that I'm sure he's really happy about now, is that his partner may move on and find another man. Do you know where I'm going, Michael? Yep. So what Michael said to his partner that he would like her to do is take a plaster cast of his penis. But not for her. What Michael would like is if indeed his partner does meet somebody else, he would like her to use that on him. Something else that I didn't know leading into this episode in terms of my preparation for doing it was that we had to be really healthy, because this can be potentially really dangerous for all four of them, specifically for Lauren. If I just have a little cold, that can really affect her lifespan. We all know that person at flu time. Cold and flu time, you get sick and then somebody else gets sick and like, oh my God, you were sick and then you made me sick. Yeah, because that's how diseases work. I invented the flu virus and gave it to you. But you certainly don't want that to escalate to, oh my God, you were sick and now I'm dead. She would be easy to assassinate though. And also really easy to avoid. Lauren calls you up, let's hang out. Oh.
I have been through rejection with my lungs. Something happened, no one knows why. My body started fighting my lungs and they destroyed all of my small airways. So the way I breathe now is not kind of out and in, it's kind of just up and down. Even though my old lungs were mine and I do miss them, this is easier to breathe, these lungs, because I still feel they're stronger.
And when did you get your lungs?
When I was 19.
And you're 20...
I'm 28 now. Been a while.
And so are you on another list for another set of lungs?
I'm still just waiting. As soon as I start to reject again, I'll have a couple of months, I guess, and they'll put me straight on the list, and fingers crossed I'll get a second chance. If not, I won't be here.
Look, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, not everything is funny. Of course, not everything in life is funny, but I do think everything has funny in it. And I think our job as humans is to find the joy in all of the shitty things that we go through. And I think Lauren is so exceptional at doing that, right? She's had longer to have to deal with this idea of her mortality. And so she's got this wicked sense of humour. For instance, one of the times that she had to go in for surgery, one of the many times that she's had to go in and have surgery, she decided to teach herself Spanish. So that when she came out of surgery... she could fool her parents into thinking something weird happened with her brain. And she all of a sudden can speak Spanish. Right, it's so great. But the thing was, in the surgery, the surgeon happened to just nick her vocal cords, so she couldn't talk. She thought she was going to come out of surgery and go, hola, ¿cómo estás? Instead, she goes, ah! And my mum and dad. I'm like, oh my God, she's retarded.
Here we are.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting.
I want to leave a legacy, one of being sort of a person people remember for doing good. The cure for cancer, or for brain cancer, won't be probably in my lifetime, but that I've contributed to that.
Is it heavy?
Well, not from this angle. I can flip a tyre easily. Look. There you go.
And we call it Willie's answer, or Willie's answer to cancer in long. Being we flip big tractor tyres and raise money through that and awareness.
Well, show us how it's done.
In groups of, say, 8, 10, like 2Ks of flips.
2Ks of flips.
Yes. So we don't know how heavy this is actually going to be. Oh, it's not bad. But, yeah, and then, like, you do a couple, next person in. One day down the track when someone's son, daughter, family member, friend gets diagnosed with brain cancer.
Come on, son.
That they can say, well, look, there are treatments like this available. And that's, if they do a bit of research, they'll see, bloody, this mug flipping tyres, and think, well, he had a big involvement in, the funding and awareness for that to become a thing. And I find some happiness in that. If I were to die tomorrow, I'm in the mix of making a legacy to leave behind. I want to go back to normal life. I miss the normalities of life before and not being sick. There is no reason that I can't return to the infantry in a full capacity.
Some may say that if you finish chemo and then you've got this time to live, maybe it's best not to go into a war zone where the likelihood of death is increased.
My intention of going back is to go back, live my normal life, like the job that I love, and then to redeploy.
Incredible. Well, we're a lucky country to have you, mate.
Oh, there's plenty of better people than me out there.
Matt is in the military. He served our country. He went to Afghanistan. He came back not dead. Then finds this shit out. So I would recommend just popping back over to Kabul and just have a crack, mate. Just run carelessly into the front line. You might be lucky and a sniper pops that tumour out of your head. Yeah, look, in rehearsal we all went, that one's not going to go well. The whole Australian military going, fucking right, we'll show you what a sniper can do.
I wasn't joking when I wanted manpower at my funeral. I think that'd be hilarious, them dancing around the coffin.
I think we can make that happen.
Could we make it happen when I'm alive?
Yeah. As you know, I am writing stand-up comedy about this subject matter. Do you think there's any no-go zones in what I can write jokes about?
This is where it's hard for you, because when you're talking to someone, you gauge where they're at and you can be tactful.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I don't know if I've got any no-go zones,
Yeah.
but, like, my parents might be awful sensitive to something.
Before I even met you, I've already written material exactly about. It's the parents. That's the struggle.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, they're in a doctor's office with me every time, or pretty much every time I'm in a doctor's office, and they're getting the same news I'm getting, and it affects us all. And it's pretty heavy shit to take on every day, every week. And me being able to joke about, and others joke about what I'm going through, lightens the load off my shoulders. Because I try, but I'm not a professional comedian.
I might not be after this.
Matt said to me that his parents would struggle with this element of the show, and rightly so. Of course they're going to. You're their baby. Oh, I get it. I'm a parent. Of course they're going to struggle with this, the idea that we can laugh about this. And I understand that because I struggle when my phone battery's about to die.
So are you guys afraid of dying?
I fear the lead up to it.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is a quick death or a peaceful death versus agony and pain, and then death comes.
That's for sure. Well, this is a fun conversation, guys.
Do we just set it up here?
Donut for a dollar.
What are you collecting?
TIF. It's a TIF fund, so it's a terminally ill funeral fund.
I'll give you $1, but I won't.
You don't want donuts? Can I eat your donut then?
Hello, would you like to have a donut for $1?
I won't, thank you. I'm off wheat.
Oh, okay.
You've been eating too many donuts.
That's why we've got to sell them.
Hey?
That's why we've got to sell them. Look, we're raising your money for TIF fund.
Who's that?
So that's terminally ill funeral fund. Yeah, and that's us.
So we're terminally ill and funding.
It's only $1, yeah. Look at his face.
Tell lies like that.
No, this isn't like we're actually all dying.
I might beat both of you.
Oh, I doubt that, sir. I highly doubt
You want to have a race right now and find out?
Jeez, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Sir, have a good life.
There is a hope for the future, you know. You really need to look in your Bible.
Would you like a donut for $1?
I've got diabetes, I don't do it.
Oh, sir, I've got diabetes too. High five. Yes. Have you heard of Manpower? Yeah, because I really would like them to dance at my funeral.
I can't eat.
You can't eat it?
So do you think God will mind if I have strippers at my funeral?
Of course not.
Obviously, you've had to make plans too. What happens with you girls after you go?
Yeah, look, it's it took a while to get to the conclusion. Certainly, the conversations have been had with Jen and Amanda, and in terms of their role.
And who's Amanda?
So that's their auntie. So she's based up in Toowoomba. She's breeds horses. My girls love being up at the farm. They're really, there's a great connection there. To have someone that unconditionally loves, that is related to their mum, that knows me from day dot and even before the kids were born. If I was to move on before they finish schooling, that'd be the place.
Oh my gosh. This is fantastic.
You thought the flame was hot?
No, we need a photo of this. This is for sure. Michael, there we go.
As I'm just like,
Just your arms around him,
get the
please.
wind up.
There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. This is just awesome.
It's still surprising how peaceful it is.
Yeah.
Other than the sound of the jets above our head. Do you feel like you've missed out on opportunities like this because you've been sick?
Yeah, definitely. I forget how limited I am until I start thinking, oh, if I was healthy, I could do this, you know, because like if I was cured tomorrow, I think like the first thing I would do would be go for a run, because I definitely, when I'm sick, I lay in bed and I just close my eyes and picture, like just actually meditate of me running and breathing. And I get past the end of my street and I just keep on going. Are you ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Yay! Oh my God.
I'd definitely do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, once in a lifetime opportunity. Well, for you guys, I'll probably have another crack.
All right.
Your hands are in the gods now.
Pretty good bump here, okay? Yeah. So hold on, please.
I got you. I stayed to help and then I didn't.
I don't know, it's just the getting out part.
Oh, man. Did you love it?
Yeah, loved it.
It's like,
I want to do it again.
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
There's something about flying though, right?
Fuck, that doesn't look right.
Lauren?
Okay, she's going back out again. Check her pulse. How far is this? Bloody ambulance. Okay, she's going back out again.
I get a 10-second warning and my body's gone. That's it. You need to just stop.
She convulsed again, her eyes went backwards and she was like blank.
So my current lung capacity is 30%, and that'll fluctuate pending how my day's going.
She's there on the ground. And it was like, man, this is so real right now. This is so real. Because Matt and Michael were incredible, right? Nicole wasn't there, had to get a lung out, right? But Matt and Michael just jumped too. They didn't wait for the thinking music. They were right there with her, making sure she was okay. And I now know what I will be like in an emergency situation.
So I invited 3 wonderful people away.
No, it's 2 now, isn't it?
Oh, we're down to 2. Stay tuned to see who wins. On a serious note, I did think it gave me an insight into how exhausting your life's been. Because that's been your life for 28 years.
Yeah.
Lauren. Hey, can you hear me? Stay there, Lauren. It's okay. I'm a little bit confused. Normal.
Ballooning's not for everyone.
Like, she's lying on the ground, I'm just like, we should totally put our fingers in warm water. I didn't tell anybody this, but the next day we're all getting up for breakfast and all of them were late. I honestly was just walking around going, fucking hell. Like, what are the odds? They all went at the same time.
It's not what I want to do before I die, it's what is the legacy and memory I want to leave with my girls. I hope they become resilient like I have. I hope they don't see this as a burden in their life. You know, good can come from this. Don't focus on that you lost your dad or you lost your mum. Focus on the life they did have and just make yourself proud of what you are.
How are you feeling this morning, Lauren, after yesterday's activity?
Very sexy.
Did you sleep well?
Yeah, I had a great sleep, but didn't wake up amazing this morning. So it's PJs for me today.
PJ day.
Mm-hmm. When it affects me, it's frustrating. When it affects my parents and my sister and the people I love, it's heartbreaking. When I'm gone, I want to be remembered as someone fun and, you know, someone to look back and laugh on some good memories. Honestly, I've been holding back a vom all morning, but I'm ready to go home. I need to sleep.
To be honest, just feeling not shit is fun. And not being stuck on the couch or in bed. In many ways, I almost consider brain cancer the best thing that's ever happened to me because I am 10 times the person I was 12 months ago. the best life lessons I've ever had to learn are from something that's going to kill me.
The shit irony of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a fairly immediate job to do, which is to turn all of this into stand-up comedy.
So all the pressure's on you now.
Yeah.
You're the only one who can fuck it up.
Yeah, it rides on me, mate.
This is what I learnt, though, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I learnt. And not that your lives are there to teach me anything, but it's something that I learnt. That our lives are not our jobs, our lives are not our money, our lives are those beautiful little moments that we spend with the people that are most important to us. And those moments can be anything. Those moments can be serving your country. Those moments can be holding your newborn. Those moments can be learning Spanish. Or those moments can be standing with your wife as you dip your willy into plaster of Paris. Whatever it is for you, enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please go crazy for my 4 new friends? We have Matt, Michael, Nicole, and Lauren. Or as I like to call them, brain, lungo, butthole, and whatever the fuck it is you have. Thank you very much.